This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey bitch, what is your whole deal? Hey bitch, just tell us how you feel. You wished for a sign from above. Well, here's a podcast about boy sex, fucking, dating, and love. Seek treatment if you're boring as fuck. Seek treatment if you're unlucky in love. Seek treatment if you just can't take a hint. Well, seek treatment with Kat and Pat.
Hey, it's Cuckoo Choo.
It's Pat, and I look like absolute dumb
And
trash.
and that's why I'm attracted to you sexually.
Well, do you know that I realized that you're attracted to me when I wear this hoodie?
Yeah, what is
'Cause
it?
that's
'Cause I'm a
now a
Swift.
common thread.
Yeah, it's kind of oversized. It's kind of like casual.
Yes.
Knee
okay.
deep. It's knee deep in the passenger seat, and you're eating me out.
This is Secret with a podcast about
This
boys
is
sex.
Secret on a
I
podcast
know.
about boys sex.
I just have to
Why are
adjust
you
something.
like?
No,
what?
because there's something about how pillows are. Like when there's a pillow behind your back, like
it's not usually.
it's
It
not
usually
right.
doesn't work.
You don't really know what to do with yourself.
This is Seek Treatment, which is a podcast about boys, sex, fucking, dating, and love.
We
We're
have
live
and we have an
in the
expert. We have an absolute
studio.
expert on boys, sex, fucking, dating, and love.
We are
Joe-
so excited to have this absolute Pat's family member in the pod.
Yeah.
Put your ears open for Joe
Joe
Mande.
Mande.
Thank you. Wow.
So
I'm in hollow ground. I
You're in
feel
hollow-
like.
it's very sacred.
Well, we're in our 6th year of their podcast, and you're our 6th ever straight guest.
Yes.
Is he
Straight
really?
young guest. Yes.
That's so beautiful.
I thought of it on the way here.
Okay, who? So we had the famous Dan
famous
Licata.
Dan Licata.
Wow.
Was he the first?
No, Brandon Wardell was
Him?
him. Dan Licata.
Yeah.
Josh Gondelman,
Langston.
Who was this?
Kareem.
Kareem and Joe.
Wow.
What an amazing
Echelon.
Avengers.
Yeah, I know.
Avengers team. My Avengers are the Straight Male Seek Treatment podcast.
No,
Yes.
do you know that Dan Licata falls in a
A very, very, very rare part of our Venn diagram.
What's
Because-
that?
Me and Catherine have very different types, but for some reason
He scratches
we are
our
both
itch.
attracted to him.
Wow.
He scratches
okay.
both of our itches. Which is
That
quite
is-
And
rare.
we're all quite
That is
itchy.
unexpected. Yeah, that's cool.
Can you imagine doing a podcast for 6 years and
Yeah.
every week you just say what you're on your mind, and then it's on the internet
That's,
forever?
it's wonderful.
At a great personal cost to yourself.
A great person. But guess what? Anytime you talk to anyone who likes your work, you go, "Oh, have you seen my special?" They go, "No, I just listen to your podcast." I
Right.
go,
That is hurtful.
It's
Yeah.
hurtful and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
And we want to lift you up today and ask, "How are you?"
Thank you. Thank you. No one asks that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Considering.
I think you
Yeah.
have a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot
So
of
you
good
should
stuff.
be doing much better than okay.
You should be, you should
Yeah.
be more grateful.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Wait, do you know I've been grateful lately?
Me too. Do you know what someone said? And of course, I don't read comments, of course, but someone commented on the TikTok saying, that you're sick of my empty positivity
Someone said that on your
Whoa.
TikTok?
on our
That Pat
TikTok.
is sick, or like they're
Pat's-
sensing that Pat is
They're
sick?
sing that Pat
They
is
love to
sick.
try to triangulate us like
Okay,
you guys do.
they
with
want us
each
to be
other.
enemies. They want us to not be
okay.
They say
friends.
that I'm sick of your positivity.
My empty, mind you, my empty positivity.
That's a
I mean, I do get that though. That is a good. No, that it's
It was you who left the comment.
it's a good arc for a podcast such as this to sort of
Really?
like slowly turn on one
Yeah,
another.
like
Totally.
like breaking up
yeah,
the band.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, people. What did people ask if we were like? Someone messaged me this summer asking if we like are friends in real life.
If we hang out in real life.
I'm like,
yeah.
how could you talk to someone for
If
an
we talk in
hour
real life.
every week for 6 years?
At such a clip too.
Oh, yeah, we talk in real life.
No, this is slow, Joe.
Awkward pauses.
Yeah.
I'm asleep.
Yeah,
So
Hey,
you're good, all things considered.
yeah. I'm doing. Yeah, I have a special coming out in a month. As of right
And
now.
remind me the title.
It's called Chill.
That's so funny.
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Came out 4 days ago.
Oh my
Stream
God.
Chill on Hulu.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so
Chill.
lucky. That sounds so good.
Does
and
that
so does
sound
everything
good?
else.
Yeah.
It sounds really. My empty
It's
positivity.
a 1 million. It's a 1 million way tie for how good everything sounds.
And I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful.
So
yeah.
okay, special comes out, and then like, what's your process been like? Now, when the special comes out, are you like, okay, now I start from scratch and tour and start anew?
Well, I taped it months ago, so luckily, I mean, I'm an impatient person, so I was annoyed that I wasn't putting it out. But
Yeah.
Pat and I were in a room for
Yeah.
most of the year, so I wasn't able to like tour
Yeah.
off of it anyway. So I was able to write material throughout the year, so I can go out in January and
With
That's
new
do that
amazing.
stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
So when you're writing stand up, are you like literally click clack?
No.
Yeah. Are you the-
Hands?
I have, I use hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that technology.
Yeah.
Going back to
now,
basics.
But are you the kind of straight guy that you're taking out a notebook, you're writing down the jokes?
hmm
That's amazing.
You're that kind of straight guy.
Yeah, I'm that kind of straight guy.
But none of them have been tested.
I mean, I've been doing shows in
around
LA,
town.
but
Yeah.
I haven't it's very difficult to string together long format. So it's
I
gonna
know.
be a process for sure.
What do you think? What does it feel like the next hour is about? Well, actually, I'm
Uh,
curious. What's chill about?
Chill. I mean, the joke is that I am acknowledging that I take psych meds, depression meds.
Wow.
Which
thank
is
you for
really
being
huge,
open
yeah.
about that.
Which is unique.
'Cause
Which
I'm
is
sick
unique
of-
for comedians.
Unique
Yeah.
New York,
So
unique
sick
New
of
York.
I'm so sick of the stigma.
Yeah.
No, I'm sick of the stigma.
Yeah, so it's just me sort of saying I'm
This is
I'm
me
chill and I
now.
don't get worked up about trivialities, and then it's an hour of trivialities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Can you say what you're on?
Yeah, I'm on Lexapro and Lamictal, which
Never
is
heard of
just
that
like a
one.
dusting of mood stabilization.
Oh, should
Yeah.
I?
Yeah. And what's Lamictal made of?
What's it made of?
Pills.
Isn't it okay, don't talk down to me. This guy thinks he's funny. Professional comedian over here. I feel like what's the lithium is the thing.
Oh, lithium,
But
yes.
it's not made of lithium.
No. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, it could be. I don't know
I just think
the
that's,
chemistry.
Me, and of course me neither.
Yeah.
And that was actually I want to tell you this. I was better in chemistry than I was in physics.
Same.
Yeah,
Same,
physics doesn't
but
make
I did
sense.
so
Shout out
little.
Miss Jithendra Nathan.
When
Shout out.
when Mr. I think his name was Mr. Al, but his name was Mr. Smith, but his name was Al Smith, and sometimes I called him Mr. Al.
Mm-hmm.
He would come around and check the homework. The way I didn't do it in such an egregious way where I would put my head completely down and pretend to be sleeping when he got to my desk to check if I did it.
What did he do? Shake you awake like flight attendant mode?
He would roll his eyes at me.
I don't know if you heard, but a flight attendant shook me awake twice on a plane recently. Shook me
Why?
because my seatbelt was under the blanket.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
You're supposed to put it.
I go, please do not wake me again. British Airways.
Wow.
I want
Which
to
I
go to
don't know.
London.
Let's rock.
I'm
I'm
you
going
think I
in
talk too
Feb.
fast?
You talk I don't think it's too fast, but
Yeah.
it's upon the listener to sort of catch up to
Totally.
you. And I respect that.
I was
I mean, it's famously Pat came over for dinner once.
Oh my god!
And my wife, literally,
Mic drop, my wife.
it was like she was dealing with someone speaking a fully foreign language.
Well, I was also going through this specific because
Oh my God,
always
was he unleashing?
No. You said I'm addicted to it.
I'm addicted to it, and no one at the table could understand me. It was
Addicted to what?
I was going through. I think I was talking about the Nicorette.
Oh, the
But,
phrase
Yeah.
I'm addicted to
I'm addicted to it.
But
But and she was like, "What?" And at no point did Pat slow down. He just said, "I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to it."
But it was five of us were at the table,
Yeah.
five of us were at the table. So it's and I was going through this larger thing, right? Where everywhere I was, no one was understanding me. And it happened at the Hacks rap party where I kept saying things and no one was understanding me. And I just was going through a situation where I kept being like, no one's understanding me right now. And the person whoever I was saying that to would be like, well, the acoustics in here are weird or it's loud. And I'd be like, no, it's happening everywhere I go. So then
acoustics
when we had that,
worldwide, yeah.
when we had that dinner, because this man has an amazing pizza oven. And
I can't even imagine your home. I can't imagine your home.
And he wields it with great power.
With grace and
And,
power.
and he wields his pizza oven with grace and aplomb.
Is it?
And I'm grateful. for
Okay,
each
is it the
pizza
kind
I
that you
make.
can pick up and move, or is it built
No.
into the home?
It's not built in, but it is pretty heavy duty.
That's
You
cool.
would have to be
Yeah.
pretty strong to pick it up.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna go to Pharaoh's. and go.
So then we were at the table and I was saying, I'm addicted to it. And not just Kylie, but everyone at the table, dear friends, no one was knowing what I was saying. And they were everyone was like, what? I was like, I'm addicted to it. Everyone's looking at me like, black, I'm addicted to it. It was like a scene in a movie where everyone's like, no one knows what he's saying. I was like, I'm addicted to it. But then for some reason, because I was sitting across from Kylie, I was like, in my head, I think I was like, well, just get them one at a time. So I zoned in on
Zero,
Carly
yeah.
and Kylie, and I was like, Kylie, I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to it. And she was just like, no one knew what I
Your
was
face is
saying.
morphing.
Yeah. Full panic on her face too. Just
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God.
I
Now,
know.
as someone who writes for Hacks, do you enjoy not having me on the show, or is that just by chance?
Yeah, it is.
Every time Hacks is mentioned, Catherine
Yes,
mentions
we have
that
a
she is not
large,
on the
we have a
show.
large photo of you with a circle.
Well, for years, the Hollywood community was using an old photo of me with curly bangs for auditions.
Yes.
And I kept being like, please, please, please delete this from the database.
There's this Mindy Tucker picture that gets posted of me 24/7.
You look good in that photo.
I hate that picture.
My-
You understand what I mean?
yeah.
I'm still. It's beyond my control, it seems. But there's the headshot that is still used for every gig I do is from 2013, I think.
When you said gig I do, I thought you said gay guy do.
Gay guy. I'm addicted to it.
Every gay guy I do. Wait, tell us about your whole life. So on the pod, we just ask everyone one question, which is who were you, who are you, and who do you want to be?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where did it begin?
Began in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Wow.
That's my hometown.
Dry climate.
Yeah.
Climate. And in fact, in my house, foothills of the mountains. But
Really?
my elementary school was downtown. And every day coming back home, I would get a nosebleed. Every day.
Really?
Yeah.
But do you know that's sort of blue zone, which has been disproven?
Yeah.
It's been disproven.
Blue zones have been disproven
Why?
because, Claudia is very into blue zones and she lives that lifestyle. But
Good for her.
so she follows blue zone news closely.
Blue Zone News.
So she, I guess, stumbled upon something that, like, basically someone was studying blue zones and they were like, wait, all these areas that are blue zones have very bad reporting of, like, deaths. So,
Oh, so they're just not.
they're just not reporting that people die. So, like, oh my God, everyone lives to 300.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Do
you
you
only...
watch Blue Zone documentary?
I only get...
Blue Zone News,
I
Blue
only-
Zone documentary.
Blue Zone, yeah.
I didn't.
I bought a frozen meal from the
Uh-huh.
grocery store called like Blue Zone, and it was a quinoa bowl.
But blue zone is very walking up hills.
It's eating white fish in olive oil.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah,
So you were living a blue zone lifestyle at an early age in Albuquerque,
Do you have
New
siblings?
Mexico.
I have a little sister.
What's she all about?
She lives in Cleveland. She was a pastry chef
Oh my God,
for a
cool.
while, and now she has some job that I'm sure will be completely defunded now. But it's a nonprofit where she like goes into people's houses in Cleveland
And queerize them.
and queer. Yeah.
That's illegal now.
It's illegal. She shouldn't have been doing it anyway as a mother.
So,
But
we
kind
wanna-
of. She like will go in. It's not queer eyeing, but it is like saying like, "Oh, you need insulation."
yeah.
So it's straight eyeing. It really
Yeah.
is.
This
Like
is
you
a
need to
straight
fix.
eyes
Yeah, you
community.
need to fix your water heater, stuff like that. Yeah.
that's
Oh
so
my God.
funny.
Do you think she'd be a fan of my work?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Do you think she'd be a fan of my work?
I know she is. Yeah.
Our work,
Really?
Well, she loves hacks.
our
Of
work's
course.
similar
Yeah,
sometimes,
sometimes.
but except for hacks.
How about my car still being broken?
I can drive you somewhere. I have a rental.
I'm gonna. No,
Is this
this is my white Jeep Compass.
Yeah, no, I know. Is this because of you not having gas in it? Or?
No, because Joe knows that I famously ran out of gas on the way to therapy.
You forgot about the idea of gas.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
So funny.
This podcast is presented by Essie Nail Polish. Yeah, that's right. Essie, the cute little bottle you love to see at the nail salon, is now available to be at your home.
There is nothing like Essie. It's a perfect stocking stuffer. You could stuff those stockings absolutely full of the most electric colors you could ever imagine. The names of the colors are so fun and so flirty. They just put you in the mood to go out and rock this world.
What's your personal experience with nails, Pat?
My experience with nails is that I'm always like, I actually do have an experience of like, you know, when you're trying to send like a joke picture to your crush where you're holding something for some reason, like I always am like, do my nails look weird in this? Which is such a funny thought that I've never really consciously engaged with. And so, but to have a fun color, it kind of quells those nerves and says, hey, look, I'm fun. I'm here. I'm sending you a jokey picture of you holding something as part of this inside joke that we've developed as people who have crushes. And look how fun my nails are. And there's nothing to be afraid of in this moment.
100%. My experience is that like when you're feeling down, there's nothing better than a freshly painted 10 nails, of course.
Totally. When you get all 10 of those things painted, like there's just
locked and loaded.
And I just think like there's so many fun sort of like crazy nail trends right now, from like the Moscow Mule nails, the espresso nails, the cherry mocha nails.
What's a
like,
Moscow Mule nail?
oh my God, you'll see them on Instagram. There's just lots of crazy nails going on. And Essie has a shade for all of them. And that's what's fun. It's like we're really, as a culture, looking at our nails and saying, like, how can we elevate?
Yeah.
And Essie does have tools to help you do that.
And the body's a canvas and Essie is the paints and you're the artist, babe. Doing your nails at
Exactly.
home can be an easy way to save time during the busy holiday season. Yeah, you can also bring your own nail polish to the salon. There's no fucking rules. So shop Essie nail polish for the holidays in store at, here you go, Target, Ulta, CVS, all the stores you're already going to be at, mama, and online at your preferred Essie retailer.
Okay, so I don't want to get too serious here in an ad for a comedy podcast, but seasonal affective disorder is a real thing, okay? And even if you don't personally experience the winter blues, there's no doubt you've experienced the winter blahs, which
Amen.
kind of its, precursor. It's a precursor to the winter blahs are a precursor, medically speaking, to winter blues, and so they could develop into that. And so it's tough to get outside when the weather is harsh, and so you really have to come up with a good plan to entice you to leave your cozy home. That's what I'm prescribing.
But it is so worth it when you can enjoy a night out in the wintry charm of the city. And if you want to dress up and be around people, but not be outside for too long, there's nothing better than night at the theater, courtesy of TodayTix. I have to say, I have been extremely depressed, sleeping till noon, 1 p.m. every day, not leaving my house. But 2 nights ago, I went to see Eureka Day at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater. It was so funny. It was so smart. It was a great play. I really enjoyed myself. My mood was just elevated afterwards. And then I went to Sardi's and I had a drink and I went home and I felt better.
I had to say, I went to a comedy show 2 nights ago. And not to brag, but I was recognized by other audience members from a different comedy show. And I said to these people, well, you must really love comedy. Here you are at one comedy show, you're talking about another comedy show. And you know what they said to me? They said, I just really like to shop. And so I like a reason, and that's why I like to go to theater, is because I like a reason to wear my clothes. And isn't that beautiful?
Oh, I've never connected with something more.
And so theater is so important, and it goes hand in hand with fashion.
Wait,
because
that's so sweet.
Have something to wear your clothes to.
TodayTix offers the best prices on tickets to shows both on and off Broadway for the winter season. All you have to do is download the TodayTix app to see their offerings, from star-studded casts to highly anticipated revivals. They've got a great mix of shows to pick from. I still need to see Sunset Boulevard. I just saw Eureka Day. I'm seeing Cult of Love next week. I'm seeing Hills of California the following week.
And I'm going to see all those because I was going to ask you what I should see. So now you've told me what I should kind of see. I'm going to see all those ones you just said.
What I love is the app is super easy to use. You just find your show, pick your seat, and check out in just a few taps. Tap, tap, tap. The phone is essentially your ticket. Yay! You can book a show in advance or be spontaneous with rush tickets available in the app. It is so fun to spontaneously be like, let's go to a Broadway show tonight.
Plus, TodayTix has an exciting rewards program where you can unlock perks like exclusive prices, early access to free sales, free seat upgrades, and more just by joining for free and becoming a member. And I hate to use the word member in an ad.
Yeah, but why not? You're here. So go to todaytix.com/seektreatment and use promo code SEEKTREATMENT to get $20 off your first TodayTix purchase. That's promo code SEEKTREATMENT at TodayTix, TIX.com/seektreatment. TodayTix.com/seektreatment. I don't remember where we left off, but I was
talking about my car.
Blue zones.
Blue zones,
Blue
the hill,
zones.
the nosebleeds, New Mexico.
Yeah.
The
My
hill,
car is so
the
big.
nosebleeds, and New Mexico.
But I think we should
a Joe Mande
acknowledge
story.
We should acknowledge that we just
He keyed for 25 minutes.
we just made Seek Treatment history by having a lighting issue, which no one saw coming.
We had a
And
lighting
being
issue.
a straight man, I got in there and I fixed all the lights.
Yeah. There's a ladder for some reason.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you because, we all struggle with this. Everyone, all 30 of the listeners struggle with this too, I'm sure. It's a people must email you and ask to pick your brain a lot. And how do you let everyone not say yes to everyone?
Being a TV writer, you have an amazing out, which is you can say, and it's not untrue, but you can just say, the Writers Guild, I'm not allowed to.
Wait, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, if someone wants you to read something they wrote, you're like, I would love to, but as I am currently under contract, I am not allowed to read anything.
Really?
I've never. You made this up.
I did not. No,
I've never heard of that.
Like
Have you?
every time you start a new job, there's a full afternoon where a lawyer comes in and says what you are allowed and what not allowed to do. And one of the things is do not accept scripts, because if there's anything in that script in any way that is similar to something you write on this show, they have legal grounds to sue the show and get credit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you are you're sort of told don't accept any submissions or read anything while you're working.
That's amazing.
Maybe
What
I'll
about
use-
just general meetups?
Well, then you're like, I'm in a room right now.
Yeah.
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 Then you
But
just-
but often it is true, but it is a nice out. So
Yeah.
then you can kind of pick and choose
Yeah.
the meetings that seem worthy of your time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
It does make sense. Okay, so you have a little sister. You're walking up a hill.
But I want to get it clear. You didn't stay in New Mexico for long.
Until I was 11.
Wow.
So it was like
Because you're
half my-
emblematic of a certain state. Admit it.
Yeah,
I didn't remember
I
to say
am.
this.
I do feel my formative years were in Minnesota, so I do feel
Wow.
more of a Minnesotan.
And what is Minnesota like besides snowy?
Well, it's interesting. Like the Twin Cities are extremely liberal. Lots of appreciation for the arts. Lots of live theater.
Beautiful.
I did a really liberal show in Minneapolis in June. Everywhere I looked, a mural saying like "Love is love."
That's true.
Everywhere I looked, there was a mural saying that.
It's a very funny place though, because it's like Ilhan Omar is a congresswoman in Minneapolis, but then you go 15 miles outside of any part of the Twin Cities, and it's like Michelle Bachmann, like anti-abortion billboards. So the rest of the state is psycho. But there's so many people who live in the Twin Cities that it's like a reliably blue state or whatever. But it is like it is so bipolar.
Wait, what's the other Twin City?
St. Paul. That's mine.
Wow, that's definitely giving like, the twins where one of them's famous and the other one's not. I can't think of it.
There's a twin who's famous. There's a jazz singer who's famous.
So okay, that's
You know that girl?
and that jazz singer is Minneapolis.
She's from Iceland. I can't remember her name.
Bjork.
No. Wait. I had a fun show in Minneapolis too, at the movie theater. Did you do it at the movie theater?
Parkway?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I shot my special.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I
can't
love
wait
that
to
place.
see
I
it.
wonder if that's where mine was.
And they were so nice.
They're the best. It's the best place.
Are your parents still there?
No, my whole family lives in Cleveland now because my sister moved there for a man.
Oh my God.
Oh, girl, leave him.
Leave him.
Leave him, mama.
Stay at Joe's for a couple of weeks while you get back on your feet.
Yeah, we got you. We're a community. We can scream like in Midsummer.
Yeah.
Who's this man?
His name's Eric, and he's from Cleveland. And then my sister got pregnant, and like my parents within like 48 hours like sold their house and moved to Cleveland because they were so desperate for a grandchild.
And they have babies?
Huh?
They have
a baby named Arthur.
That's a really cute name.
Yeah.
Arthur.
There's an Arthur in my life I'm not crazy about.
Fair enough.
And if you're listening and you think it's you, it's a different Arthur.
So rest easy.
Also, I just had to say, people keep DMing me that the tapas place I was describing was Bakari. Don't ever think I wouldn't know what the name of Bakari was.
What's Bakari?
A totally mid tapas place.
It's right up here. And I always think it's Bacardi, but it's not.
Totally.
But I say Bacardi.
Well, they want you to think that.
Yeah.
And I think that might be from the book Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Because remember, do you read it?
Yeah, I did.
Remember they go to a restaurant with a tree in it?
Yes.
Every time I'm in Bakari, I'm like, is it this?
It was because that was Cliff's Edge beforehand. Yeah, I do think it's that.
And
I don't remember
I'm
them going to
thinking
that
about a
restaurant.
different new tapas place. As I've already said, it's between Lucille and Hyperion. So don't ever think I'm talking about Bakari when I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have a new contentious relationship with the listenership.
Well,
Since January 2024.
Since January 2020.
since January 6th.
In the C Treatment Wikipedia page, one day there will be a
notable
a section-
conflicts.
Notable conflicts. It'll say this sentence: in January 2024, our audience is turned on Pat.
I have a section in my Wikipedia that's like about being a cyberbully.
Don't you have people changing?
You're a bully?
They claim I'm a bully.
Who did you bully?
I clearly bullied someone who's a Wikipedia editor because it was for a while like an entire like paragraph about how awful I am with citations and stuff, and then my page was flagged, and then it went to a like higher echelon within Wikipedia editing where they like cleaned it up because it was like slanderous.
Oh my
But
God.
then there
so
was some sort of
crazy.
compromise. Have you ever gone to like the notes section of a Wikipedia? It is fascinating because it's like intermingling and arguments between Wikipedia editors about your page. And so
Oh my God.
there's like the main person was like, this is malicious, but then the person who wanted me to have this section, who I was clearly mean to at one point, like was like, this is a real citation. You have to keep this in. And so there's a whole part where I'm like mean, and I said there's some citation to a Barron Trump joke I made before I quit Twitter.
Wow.
You know?
Oh
Now
my
that's a tall
God.
person.
Yeah.
Now that's a tall person.
So wait, you're in St. Paul. What were you like in high school? Were you beloved?
This is a sort of a joke in the hacks room because like Jen was very popular.
Yes, but she always said she was adjacency to popularity.
And
Like,
I think
she's-
I was too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was prepubescent, very tiny in a world of
Really? That's
like
sweet.
really hot blonde Nordic people. So I did feel like a comedy goblin. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was just like, I'll just try to make everyone laugh.
And it works.
Kind of. And my high school had an improv troupe.
When were you on it?
I was on it.
What was it called?
Clownaz.
Do you know Paul
That's
Scheer went to my
good.
high school?
Paul Scheer?
Yes, and recent guest Michael Cyril Creighton that I know you lived with. Did you know that you
Mhm.
came up in his episode?
I was told this, yes.
He has a friend who's a fan.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A girl?
What's their name?
Her
A
name's
girl-
Emily Weiss.
Emily Weiss.
Emily Weiss.
I think that's the name also of the woman who created
Who was
Glossier.
she was a blonde girl, much taller than me.
in your high school?
Yeah.
Whoa, good for her.
Good for her. Get it.
Now, what was
Hi,
it?
Emily. Thank you.
I will say, speaking of high school, I'm in popularity and adjacency to that phenomenon of popularity.
Mhm.
I will say the Wicked press tour is hearkening back to me to this famous. I never thought much about like.
Because you had green skin in high school.
Yeah.
There was like this girl Catherine, who's a listener who you've
Well,
met.
of course, I spent a lot of time
family.
with her.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Yes, she
Snarfs.
was like popular lax, and I was always behind her in class, like making her laugh her fucking ass off if
Oh
she's
my
listening. She
god.
knows it's true.
LMAF. Oh.
And the track team was true middle class popularity wise, like
Mm.
true middle class. And so there was to be a surprise party for Catherine, and it was pink and green themed because like those were the colors that year for some reason. Looking back, it probably had something to do with Wicked, but like, and
I'm running the numbers.
the track team was split directly down the middle
Between greens and pinks?
between being invited and not being.
Oh,
invited.
wow.
And of course, I was included in the event.
Of course.
Yeah, but and it was a high like you wouldn't believe, like just sitting at the track table being like, let's not talk about the party. 'cause-
Oh my god. You're so lucky.
for our less popular brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And so the Wicked press tour is taking me back there.
Because the colors.
Of course, a pink and green party,
Wow.
could it
How
not?
was the party?
electric.
Was it? Were people like drinking?
People were drinking, but I wasn't drinking because we didn't really drink on track.
Yeah.
But there was like another room where people were drinking, and I celebrate those people.
I'll never forget when like me and my like bestie in high school, we were like, we don't drink.
Mhm.
And then one day I decided I was gonna try it, and I like snapped at her, and I was like, "Don't fucking tell your mom." And then she was like, I'll never forgive myself for yelling at her like that because she was just like, "I won't, obviously."
I started so early.
Really? That's
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sixth
Yeah.
grade.
Oh my
6
God,
years old.
Joe.
That's really early.
Sixth grade, or yeah, sixth
Hitting
grade.
the bottle.
My friend and I distinctly remember it. We were home alone at his place, and he found a bottle of gin, and he put those like frozen concentrate orange juice.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
my God. That
He
took us somewhere.
Yeah. He just poured gin in that and like shook it up, so we had like these slushies.
That's
Sounds
such a good idea
amazing.
for
It
a
was
drink.
so good.
Yeah.
And then we were like listening to Adam Sandler albums and just like crying, laughing in he had a sauna.
Oh my
So we were
God.
like
This
drunk,
guy rocks.
Richie Rich.
drunk
Richie Rich.
12-year-olds listening to Adam Sandler in a sauna. And then we had to wake up the next morning at like 7:30 a.m. for a basketball game. And then we were just like, imagine
7:30 for a basketball game.
two like 12-year-old boys fully hungover trying to play.
Oh my
basketball,
God.
like trying not to throw up. Yeah, they
Because
get benched.
hoops is kind of life for
Hoops
you.
is life.
Your
yeah.
ball
What
is
do you mean
life.
hoops is life?
It's my
Hoops is life for
only,
him.
I care. The only thing I'm going to a Lakers game tonight. I've gone to hundreds of NBA basketball games. It's my
Yeah.
favorite thing in the universe.
That's amazing. I'm trying to find something that I like.
Yeah. Well, I recommend basketball. They're the best athletes in the world.
I
You know
do
I'm
think-
good at basketball.
I could see that.
Thank
Do you
you.
know that we're
You
both
should take us to a game.
I would
yeah,
it would be a dream.
That'd be so fun.
courtside. And do
Actually,
you think,
what's a great like primer.
Mhm.
I've gone to a game, a WNBA game with Rachel Colley, who's a super fan.
yes.
Oh.
And that's like it's like I
A
think
primer is just like
to start
To get
like
into it.
your basketball journey.
okay.
Is that not the right term?
I think it is.
No. It just feels like
Condescending.
you don't value women's sports as much as men's.
No. I'm saying it's like the tickets are
No,
cheaper.
Okay.
and
Okay.
like tickets are cheaper, and then you get like real close in a
Okay,
way
okay.
you would not get
Okay,
that kind of
respect.
access
I
at
went-
an NBA. game.
Respect.
I went to
Where do
What-
they play? The
Uh,
women.
Crypto, the Crypt.
Crypt.
That's Staples Center.
what are their names again?
The Crypt
The
is
team.
funny.
I went-
They are the Sparks.
I went to a Sparks game over the summer.
That's
I couldn't
fun.
connect.
kind of a scandal this last WNBA final.
What happened?
Really?
Is it seemed as though it was Minnesota Lynx versus the New York Liberty, and the final game, it seemed like it was in the bag that they called a foul on Minnesota that was very much not a foul for what ended up being sort of the game-winning free throws for the Liberty.
Oh
and
my
sort of a
God.
scandal, but they wanted New York to win. They're going to sell hella T-shirts.
This is so.
And that's Ellie the elephant, right?
Yeah,
I know about
who
her.
is incredible.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, what does basketball make you feel?
Alive.
Really?
Yeah.
But you played. Did you play in high school?
My high school, there was no way I was making.
'Cause they were really good.
They were really good. Although my senior year, I was approached to join the basketball team. We began discussions because they needed someone on the team to help raise the cumulative GPA
Oh my God.
of the team so they could go to state.
Amazing.
But then they got a kid named Ben Stein who had better grades than me.
Win Ben Stein's money.
Fuck you,
Yes.
Ben Stein.
Do you
Yeah.
remember Win Ben Stein's money?
I do, because
No.
it was right when I was on a basketball team with Ben Stein.
I watched it every day.
What's
Yeah.
that?
There was
was
this
a
guy who was famous for
Game
being
show.
smart.
Well,
Yeah.
he was the teacher from Ferris Bueller.
And he was also. I remember he did these
Oh.
commercials.
Do you remember that scene where he's
Yeah,
like Bueller?
of course.
Bueller? Yeah. So
And he did commercials for.
I always mix that
drops.
person up with Eugene Levy.
yeah, similar.
Energy.
Yeah,
but it's
like
not him.
Deadpan.
But
No,
In my mind, it's him. Okay,
but
okay.
he was like a lawyer for Richard Nixon or something.
And he
Okay.
also did eye drops commercials where he was holding a beach ball that looked like an eye.
I
that
know
had red.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like dry eyes.
Oh
Use
my
this,
God.
you'll have
Right.
clear
That
eyes.
orange juice concentrate and that commercial is taking me aback.
yeah.
But then,
Can I ask you, I'm so sorry because I'm interrupting everyone, but orange juice concentrate, you add water to that or you just let it go?
You're supposed to add water to
That
it.
must have been so yummy.
It was so good. I was
Yeah.
like
Let's do that
drinking.
this weekend. Relapse.
Let's do it.
Ah.
Drinks. Yeah, it was like drinking rocks. And then felt really sick, but then just sort of kept going. And like, my parents threw, dinner parties and stuff. So we always had like big
Hmm.
jugs of alcohol at my house, and then
Oh my God,
they
you-
never monitored it.
Yeah.
So like I would get trashed with my friends constantly.
One time at my
Wow.
sister's christening, I was probably 13, and we were like, maybe it was a communion. No, I think it was someone's christening, but like family friends my age were like, we're gonna drink at this event.
The
But we
christening.
didn't know. We just knew you mixed things in. Like we didn't know
Mm.
anything else. And it was like during truly Mike's Hard was at its height.
Hmm.
So we got like literally one Mike's Hard, and then we all were like, let's get things to put it in. So we got like orange soda, and then poured literally a quarter of a Mike's Hard lemonade into the mixer orange soda.
That's
That's
yeah,
so
that's
sweet.
really
Yeah.
cute actually.
Were you raised religious?
I was bar mitzvahed and I went to Jewish summer camp,
Mhm.
but at no point was I like, yeah, this is my shit. Like
It was
I
casual.
casual. In fact,
Knee deep.
I was just gonna say it was knee deep in the passenger seat.
yes, getting I was getting eaten up by Hashem. Yeah, no, I mean like I was always just like I've always been kind of like a little rascal. Like there's a sort of tradition in Judaism that if you drop a prayer book, you're supposed to like pick it up and kiss it. 'cause
Oh
it's,
my
like, has the
God.
word of God.
That's
in
With
it.
tongue?
Well, yeah, well that was so that I had I think the greatest joy in life is trying not to laugh
Oh,
in church or
nothing
synagogue.
like that.
Forget it.
And so like I would do a bit during services at summer camp. We had to do services in summer camp. It was brutal. I would like Mr. Bean constantly drop the prayer book like on purpose, then like escalate how much I was kissing it. And by the end, I was like fully fucking the prayer book. And so that's sort of my relationship with Judaism.
That's beautiful.
know-
Wait, and then what was your relationship with girls?
Trying so hard.
Did you
Yeah.
love them so much?
Did you have a
Yeah.
GF?
Who was your like celebrity crush growing up? Where were you like, I'm dying for this?
It definitely like Halle Berry,
Hmm.
Anna Kournikova was up there.
Oh
for
my
a
God, she
while.
was
Both major
it at
of
that
the time.
Yeah.
And doesn't she have? Oh, not Maria
The other-
Sharapova has a
oh.
candy company.
Oh, interesting.
And who was the other one?
I could be wrong.
Anna Kournikova. Who was like the other like Anna
Hot tennis
Kournikova
girl?
but different? She might have been the one that was like in the Enrique or
Like an athlete?
yeah.
Well, no, I think Anna Kournikova was the one in the music video.
There was another one.
Yeah.
That was like her but different.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
And I remember thinking like it was almost similar to like, I always think of like Gabby Gabby was so huge in gymnastics, and then now it's Simone. And I just remember having that, and I always thought,
Wait, wasn't there? There was like a
Maybe
beach volleyball woman who became a model that was kind of like a
No.
Maxim chick for a long time.
This is certainly another tennis person, and it was so in vogue in that time to be like, Anna Kournikovas not even that good at tennis.
That's so bad.
Not me saying it, but like,
You love
yeah,
saying
that
it.
was
You're
sort
always
of-
saying that to me off pod.
that was the rep though,
Yeah.
right? That is just like, oh, she's only getting this attention because she's hot.
Yeah.
God.
yeah, that's how
Yeah.
people get attention.
Exactly.
We can't rework it.
Yeah.
Like that ship has sailed. If you want hot people not to get attention, you've lost.
You live in a different universe.
Yeah, you've lost the battle.
Recreate reality.
They're getting it.
I developed a huge crush on. I used to buy like VHS tapes of Pam Grier movies off of eBay.
Remind
I was
me.
like, she plays Jackie Brown in Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown, but she
Oh, I
was like
never
a
saw it.
like in the 70s was like a
Oh, yeah.
like sort of not blaxploitation, but she was in a lot of like black films, and I just was like in love with her.
Addicted.
Yeah, this movie Coffee, I was like, she's the hottest person.
And then when
the
did you
world.
finally
Come
get
out
it
of
on?
come out of straight.
Well, that was what Jewish summer camp was for.
Oh, you're
Really?
so
Is
lucky.
I would get like 3 months of
Girls from other schools.
girls from other states who
Mm.
like it was so clear that everyone got no ass in real life.
Yeah.
And so it was like this like wonderland where you
That's
like
so
hook up in tents
fun.
and stuff and then go back to the real world where you're just like striking out constantly.
No,
You know, I had to go to Christian summer camp where no one even talked to boys.
Really? Was it
Horrible.
like separated?
They were there. We would like talk to them, but it was like everyone was remaining pure, saving themselves.
Yeah. No,
then-
Jewish summer camp's the horniest place
Don't they-
on earth. It's crazy.
Don't they encourage you to hook up with one another in some ways?
It's not encouraged because I think that would be like illegal,
Yeah.
but there is like very little supervision
That's
at
so
certain
fun.
parts of the week.
Yeah. Wow.
Like after Shabbat, there's like there's a period of time where there's like a like dancing and stuff, and then there's like a long period of time before you have to like meet up back at your cabin.
Yeah.
And that's just like that was a free for all.
What, hand jobs
and stuff?
hand jobs next to in the woods or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool as hell.
That's
Hand jobs in the
awesome.
woods.
And then you went to call.
And then I went to call, yeah.
Were you always,
Um,
did you always want to do comedy, or when did that begin?
Yeah, so I was doing like there was a point in my life in New Mexico, in fact,
Wow.
where I was like watching. I was like drawn to stand up. Was so certain I was gonna be a stand up.
Really?
And
Drawn
then-
to stand up like you wouldn't believe.
Who did you like?
I mean, I was watching like those shows like A-List. So like Mark Maron, I remember
Yeah.
being like, this guy rules, and
Never seen a frame of
Um,
his work, but celebrate his presence in the community.
yeah, of course. Well, I mean,
Have you been on his podcast?
yeah, a number of times. Yeah,
That's amazing.
The, actually, it's the
Hollow
first.
positivity.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know. Now call me out on it.
The first time I did his podcast, I was just like a little man in New York, just no management, no agent, just being like, I don't know how anyone gets anything.
Wow.
How
And
do
then-
people get things?
I don't know, especially
Yeah.
I mean in LA, you just like do a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what a journey. If you go back through the archives of WTF.
But then you went to Boston.
I went to so I spent 1 year in Wisconsin, Madison,
Mm-hmm.
which was not the right place for me.
Wait, how come?
Because I did not get into Columbia,
Oh.
and then I was lied to by USC Film Screenwriting School.
What do you mean?
I had an interview, and the guy said, "Consider yourself a Trojan," and so I was like, "I'm in, baby," and then got
What?
rejected.
That's
What? That guy should
literally-
be taken.
For real. Well, this is my conspiracy theory is the program I submitted to, very competitive, but like I was told I was going to be a Trojan, but this was the same year that Dawson from Dawson's Creek submitted to be a part of the same program, and I believe
You got your
they're-
spot.
Well, he got my spot. Exactly. Yeah.
They're like, who can we knock off this list?
Yeah,
This guy.
yeah.
You
That's-
don't remember what I said.
So then everyone from my high school just goes to Madison. So I was just like, I'll
Yeah.
do that without thinking much about it. I
Yeah.
sort of like checked out. senior
Amazing
year.
cross country program that you could
Really?
have been a part of. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great like sports school.
Yeah.
And I just like couldn't, I was not vibing with it at all. Like, in fact, my parents dropped me off. I met my roommate and literally sat down and started looking at new schools. I was like, this
Really?
is so not for me.
So where'd you go?
I ended up transferring to Emerson.
Did you love
College.
it?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I knew it was like the right thing because I was like, Madison was a giant school in a tiny town.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I got there, I was like, oh, I'll just work for the Onion. The Onion was like out of Madison, and I went across
Oh,
the street.
wow.
It was their headquarters across the street from my dorm.
That's crazy.
Walk across the street, giant sign saying like, "Thank you, Madison. We moved to New York." And I was just like,
No.
"Oh, this sucks."
It's a
Yeah,
sign.
it's a sign.
You got out.
So I got out, went to Boston, met all my dearest friends there. Started like a sketch group and started doing stand up as like a unit. We would like do all the shows.
Who's your best friend?
His name is Noah Garfinkel.
Mm-hmm.
I know him online. I
but
think
he
he's
has
hot.
become-
I think he's hot.
I'm sure I would think he's hot.
Uh,
My
Sorry.
friend is sure she'd think your friend is hot.
I'm sure. Honestly, like it's been. He has this thing about him where girls fall in love with him because he's so funny and charming, but also like he's a reclamation project. Like I think every girl's sort
Yes.
of like, I can fix.
he single?
this.
It's the
Yeah,
famous
absolutely,
thing
he's
of
single.
Can I
like
blow up my life and fix him?
You can try. There's no fixing.
it's a famous thing, and I don't
Absolutely,
know.
he's single. So.
But there's such a phenomenon of when you think you're the only person that thinks someone's hot, and you're like,
I
it's
hate
my
that
idea to
feeling.
think you're hot, but then you find out like when you hear one other person be like that person's hot, it's like you feel so betrayed.
It's over.
It's like it's like
And in that
no, this
moment-
was my idea,
my project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then when did you move to New York after college?
Right after college, yeah, I had an internship at the Maury show that was very foundational.
forget
to
about
my
that.
comedic voice,
That's
and then
amazing.
Can I ask how real is it?
So it was all real except the one genre that was absolute bullshit was the opposites attract episodes where it'd be like a little person and then like a 6 foot tall woman.
Yeah.
Those were just like
Let's
Craigslist.
find opposite people.
Yes.
And say they're attracted.
Yes.
Do you think
then I think some of the phobias were fake.
2 questions.
Oh my god, like the pickles.
Yeah,
And like, okay.
the cotton balls.
Two
Yeah.
guys-
yeah.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Do you think opposites attract? And second question, are you and Kylie opposites?
Second question first. I do think we are pretty opposite. You know, our tastes for things are quite different. But,
Yeah.
It's about compromise and understanding. And
Totally.
I start crying.
Because how long have you been with?
How did you meet?
we met in college.
No,
Yes.
yay!
Yeah,
And did she go
yeah.
to M or did she go to one of the other
She went
prestigious
to-
Boston
She
universities?
went
There's-
to
Boston is chock full of universities.
And
Yes.
that's very late seasons Dawson's Creek, so you were reclaiming.
yes, exactly.
Well,
This is
Dawson
my
moved
town,
to
bitch.
Exactly.
Well, Dawson moved to Los Angeles, where you now live and work.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the rest of the cast did go to Boston to pursue their higher education.
And
And
Where
that's
did
why
the show
they-
take place?
The show initially took place in Cape Side, which was, I think, Maine or somewhere in
That
the
show's
Maine,
so
right,
good. That
right.
show's so good.
I
No,
resent
Dawson has.
it.
He's like a
He has a.
influencer with like 7 kids.
I know, but I believe he is having a medical. I think he might have. Take this out if it's not true, but if it's, I think he has cancer.
That's
Wait, I finally started
horrible.
reading Intermezzo. I love it.
Oh, great!
Have you read it?
James Vanderbeek write this book?
No, but
Couldn't-
someone has cancer in the
Couldn't
book.
be less connected. Okay, okay.
No,
okay.
someone has cancer in the book. It could be less connected.
Oh,
if no one
oh,
had
oh,
cancer in
I'm
the
so
book,
sorry. I'm
it could
excited
be.
to read it.
But now, because it's so intrinsically linked to this conversation, we do have to leave. And that James Bender. But he's
that's
being.
very sad, and I'm sending him healing.
Yes, we're hollow optimism.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm a fake bitch. I know what to say.
I'm joking.
I got really tired.
Oh no, Joe! Why did you tire
This
her
is my
out?
fault.
You made me tired.
Okay, so you and
I
Kylie
brought
compromised. You've been
Celsius.
together for literally a million
But when you met in
years.
college, were you like you saw her across the room and you're like, that's the one?
I was very into her very
Yeah.
much. Yeah,
And
she
what'd
went
she
to a
think?
she went to a rival college called Northeastern,
Of course.
but she had a lot of mutual friends in my friend group, and
Oh.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. We our first date was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then
Fun.
but then it was sort of like neither of us like horror movies, so we
Oh.
figured that out.
So in that way, you're not opposites.
So how long have you been
Yeah.
together now?
I think 20 years.
That's
Isn't that crazy?
crazy.
Because
20 years. How do you make it work long term? How does anything
Don't you
last?
get bored?
Oh wait, new segment. How does anything last?
wait. New segment. How does anything last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like being on WTF?
It's exactly that. Yeah. He's so into personal relationships.
Into Kylie's personality.
I mean, we make each other laugh. We have
Oh.
a mutual project in a dog. We focus
Yes.
a lot on our dog.
Who's your dog?
We have a mentally ill pit bull named Sanford.
And do you know the
Why are
first,
you looking at me crazy?
Because you know the first time I met Joe.
Sanford?
Yeah.
That's very sweet.
The first time I met Joe, the Hex Writers were going over his house for pizza. So Joe had
Blog
sent
it?
this text that was like, do not come in the front door, go around the side.
Yeah, my
But
dog is crazy.
But you know
Aw.
how I am when I do receive information. It comes one in one
comes when it
ear
wants
and
to
then
come.
quite
Uh-huh.
out the other.
Mhm.
And so I just like walked into the front door. Kylie, I had
Didn't even
never
ring the
met.
doorbell. I think you just walked in the house.
Kylie was
Knee
like
deep in the passenger seat.
Kylie was at the counter and I had never met her. I was like, "You must be Kylie." She looked at me like true fear in her eyes, and then I just heard like bounding and,
Oh my God,
and she
what?
literally
Hound.
threw her body in front, like a hero threw her body between.
Right.
I love
the
you. I
dogs.
love that shape.
Oh, thank you. Should I do
It's
this?
so fun.
Should I do this on my next date?
I love when you express yourself
me,
physically.
me on my next date.
Yeah, got me like my next date got me like
call this the Kylie.
the Kylie. Wait, can
you
I
know
see a
that
picture
my-
of it or video even?
Of Kylie?
The dog.
Oh yeah, I can.
Can I have a video of your wife?
Well, all my photos of the dog are with her. So
What happened to the dog?
he's a anxious mess.
Ugh.
And
Jill.
is this bad to pull this up?
No.
What? No.
Okay.
asked.
This is how we are.
How old is he?
He is 8 years old.
Wow. Oh, he's very sweet and she's gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah. Actually,
Look at
she
that.
COVID was a weird period for her because that show, what is it, Normal People
Mhm.
came
Oh
out.
yeah, by Sally Rooney, who also wrote Intermezzo, and now we're
Oh.
doing a thematic piece. This podcast is now moving to the
Yes,
thematic
it's called
realm.
The Weave.
yeah.
But that the actress very much looked like Kylie,
Yes.
and especially with her haircut in that show. And so people felt compelled to reach out to be like, "You look so much like this actress." But the show is the whole show is this woman getting like absolutely railed. So it's like people being like, "I was watching this woman just get plowed." And I was thinking how
Well, did you-
similar. you look.
Allison Oliver, I believe is her
Did
name.
you know that Sally
She's
Rooney in an
beautiful.
interview said that she doesn't want any of her books to be made into TV shows anymore because she doesn't like the effect it's having on the young actors
I mean, the effect is having young
because they like,
Making
got
them
famous.
hugely famous.
The
Oh, yeah.
trappings of
I would
fame.
love to be
She was like,
affected
"I don't
in
want to
that
make
way."
any more
Yeah.
young people famous because
Sally Rooney, I'm okay to be affected by
Well,
I'm okay to be affected.
is it like out of jealousy or something?
No, she's very like I don't like the light. Like I will do
She's
this interview, but I'm
pure.
not
She's
glad.
like pure
Oh.
artiste.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
She's very much like
I think I'm liking her Intermezzo more because it's about older people than her other. It's not about like an 18-year-old. It's about a 32-year-old and a 22-year-old, and even
Yeah.
a 36-year-old, which, as you know, is the age I've stepped into.
welcome.
Welcome to being 36.
Welcome to being 36.
This is 36.
What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
I'm loving that.
What does that mean time-wise, March?
March, yeah.
What's your birthday?
16th.
Okay, cool. Not my birthday.
Remember what I told you? Remember
What
I-
is yours?
Remember what I told you?
No, I'm just laughing. Sorry, I'm like, you know when like all of a sudden your brain's just like, I asked
I
my-
have that effect, yeah.
No. It's not. I think it's like something with the lighting shift or like. Anyways, I'm boring myself to death. No, my boyfriend's birthday is March 27th, so I wanted to
Okay.
check in.
Yes.
And
And my brother's is the 12th.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna ask you, how did you get from like, I mean, the classic question, but like, how did you get from just doing stand up in New York to being a fully working writer?
Yeah,
stand-up?
I got a weird gig through I had like a signed to an agency, and my agent got me this weird gig where I went to a sort of proto mini room for the show Delocated, where the guys, Glazer and them were just looking for story ideas.
Cool.
And it was my favorite show on TV at that
Oh.
point in time. So I came in with like
Yeah.
probably too many ideas, over eager,
Amazing.
because it's just I love the
I've
show.
never done that in my life.
And they were like, "Yeah, you should just write for the show."
That's
and
amazing.
I was like, and it wasn't like a room. I was like in my apartment in Brooklyn, and they would send me like bullet points, and then I would just have to like turn them into scripts. And then
wow.
he was like, "If there's areas for jokes, just throw them in there." So it was a real
Amazing.
trial by fire. And then
Yeah.
right after that, Kroll got a show, so I wrote for that.
And you came up with him.
Yeah, yeah.
as
So
they say.
when when I arrived in New York after a bit of like trial and error, ended up at Rafifi, and that's
The
like,
classic.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
becoming sort of
Is it
lore.
Yes.
but,
It's totally lore. It's so cool.
but
because it
like,
wasn't there when you were there, right?
No.
that's so crazy.
I
Yeah,
It was done.
it was my whole life. Like I was
Yeah.
there every night.
Oh, so
Within
fun.
within my first week of being there, I became lifelong friends with like Jenny Slate, Gabe Liedman, Kroll, Mulaney, Chelsea
I'm such
Peretti.
a huge fan
Yeah.
of Jenny Slate. I think
She's
she's
the
like the
best.
most
She's-
brilliant person.
She's out of it. Was actually like also like we are we're very similar. Also, we have the same exact like stomach problems. So it was just like, we're very much like two sides of the same.
I'm gonna go to the
Physically in tune.
doctor.
Yes.
I met
I
her
think
once,
I
but
am too.
I met her once, but I don't think she'd remember. But send her my
I'm
love.
gonna go to
I
the
will.
doctor.
Yes.
And her writing, I need to read the new book. The
Mhm.
first book I loved so much. I'm excited for the new one. I just think her brain's like
Yeah.
unbelievable.
You
I don't
know,
know
she's like
her.
one of those people. I think you said this about Michelle Collins. There are just certain people where you're like, oh, you're the funniest person on
Yeah.
the planet. Like
Yeah.
you're just like you're operating on
Yeah.
a completely different level.
Oh, the best.
Yeah. I
What
don't
were you
know her.
saying?
We never met.
She's amazing. You know,
She's
and
so
also like
funny.
I just feel like Obvious Child was like so life changing for me. That movie was
Mhm.
so major.
I never watched it, but I loved her turn in Girls, especially season 1.
She's very funny in Girls.
Yeah.
That's such an amazing group to come up with.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
So then you guys all moved to LA.
Pretty much like
Yeah.
within, I think something crazy, like within like 6 months of each other, we were all out here.
What
in
was the thing that brought you out here originally?
Parks and Recreation?
Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Did you feel like that was when you were like
Big break.
arrived?
Yeah, I mean, like with it was also like I got my Comedy Central Presents that year
Yeah.
too,
Oh,
so
cool.
things were like, things are
Yes.
popping off. But it did feel like it felt like a very like serious job. Like I
Yeah.
just remember being like walking into the pantry area
Yeah.
and then being like all the cereals in the world
Yeah,
and just being like,
Wow.
this is crazy.
Well, NBC Thursday nights were at their height.
Well, let me say
Mhm.
thank you because the joy and the laughs you've given me and our nation
Oh.
are healing. That
But wait,
show is
tell her
so
what someone said
good.
to you
What?
on the street when you say popping off. It made me think of it.
I don't remember.
Oh, you told
this.
the story in the room that you were like someone was driving by.
Oh yes, I got the other night. I got takeout from a Thai restaurant in Echo Park, and I was getting back to my car. This woman went, "If it's not the what was the term?" She's like,
I thought it was like the funniest.
the funniest man in America who's yet to pop off, and I was just like,
What?
This is such a like backhanded compliment. Like
Who would say that?
it was crazy.
A
'cause
woman
I-
at a Thai restaurant.
That's like what you would imagine. It's like what you think people are thinking.
Yeah, it was like it really was like it was so damning, but like accurate. I guess I was like, yeah, okay,
I think, honey, I think you've popped.
okay, I appreciate
That's crazy.
that. Yeah, it
That's
was
so funny. People are so comfortable.
or like the
Yeah.
most not yet famous. It was like so
Yeah.
specific that I was like, it was like a real life version of like sometimes you'll get a comment on an Instagram thing that is so like purposely mean.
Yes,
but,
Yes.
but
yes.
you're like that is 100%
Yeah.
accurate. Like
oh,
you,
it's the worst.
yeah, when someone like calls you out properly.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
oh.
I wasn't like mad, but I was like, wow, I don't even know how to take that. And then she was like by herself with like a glass of wine. And she just like cheers me as I got into my car. I was like,
in
"This
the
woman's-"
restaurant?
She was sitting outside of a bar next to the restaurant and just like by herself was just giving, I guess, every passerby just a scathing review of their work.
Oh my God, I'm sorry I was doing that. It was a
One
weird
time,
night.
someone.
Wait, can I
One
tell you
time
to-
someone
Okay.
commented on one of our things and was like, "Glad to see LA hasn't totally corrupted Pat. He's not always annoying, just usually." And I was like, "That's not because of Los Angeles. It's just how I'm like."
Truly, how
Someone
I'm like,
in my manager had a mafia night. It was actually, I love games. It was
Mhm.
so much fun, and but I was like accused pretty early on in the first game. I was a townsperson, and it's so boring to like recite a game of mafia. But like someone was like, I think Pat's mafia, and I didn't know anyone that well, and I'll name check. It was Casey Wilson. Was like
Mhm.
Pat's being off, and I was like. Then you get 30 seconds to defend yourself, and I had to be like, I'm not being
not
off. This is how I
off.
act all the time, if not even more off usually.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm addicted to it.
you know, one of the main ways you popped off for me was when I saw that you got your team vodka bottles with your face on them.
Oh yeah, I sort of fell off during COVID, but I made a big point of giving all my agents like absolutely unusable gifts.
But
yeah.
I think that's very usable.
Yeah, I
But
guess
you
you
wasn't
could
it
drink the
liquor?
vodka.
you could,
yeah.
and especially you should give them next year. You should give them that with your face on it, and the frozen orange juice with your face on it.
Yeah. One year I gave them like giant pillows with my face on it.
That's great.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
one time you told me about cooling pillows, and I got
Uh-huh.
one, and I do think it was the demise of my sexual relationship at the time.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, it needed to
But it
end.
was great.
Yeah.
It needed to end.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
But the thing about that was you couldn't really use a pillowcase on it, or else it would like destroy
Yeah,
the
it
effect.
is. Yeah, right.
Someone's
And
gotta
I don't
work
know how you
around.
wash it.
They should have cooling pillowcases.
Yes.
That's not my culture. I don't need that.
I need to be
I'm always
so
ice
cold at all
cold.
times.
I'm always
Yeah.
freezing.
I need to be freezing cold.
I
That's, like,
am. I am what you want.
that's how my mom is. She can't drink drinks with ice in them.
I think women get
Very
colder
gendered,
as they get older.
isn't it?
Yes.
Women
Like,
get.
yeah.
I've entered my 30s. I'm freezing all the time.
I'm always hot. This is another
Interesting.
issue.
I'm always hot too.
Yeah, my wife's always under a blanket, and I have
Mhm.
a like literal fan in front of my face because I'm
Oh.
Yeah.
disgusted.
Now, next part of our question: who are you now? Now that all your dreams have come true.
This is a great question. I guess I'm, well, what I struggle with is I still self-identify as a stand-up comic,
Yeah.
but
And you're stand-up.
Well, you are, and you have your new special.
I have a new special, but I don't feel like a part of the
TikTok movement.
the culture anymore. So I definitely feel like I'm on an island and I'm happy on my island. I think like I'm very proud of the special. Like I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I'm, like I like all the material, but I don't understand the sort of how to maneuver in this world.
Wait, this is interesting. Do you mean like with all the online stuff, or you mean not being
Online
part
stuff
of,
and
yeah.
like the people thriving are truly some of the most despicable
Yes.
people
I know.
in America.
I
So it
know.
is like hard to
Yes.
parse that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like
100%.
I have this thing and I have no confidence that the special will like resonate with the modern comedy fan, you could say, you know?
Right.
I know.
So it is kind of a scary world out there.
It's so scary to be
Totally.
like, if you guys like this,
Yeah.
then you're not. Why would you
Yeah.
ever like what I do?
Yeah. So my hope is that there will be some sort of reaction to what is happening.
The
And
slaughter.
Yeah.
there will be like a sort of pendulum swing back to like what I consider good stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think
Because they're being
everything's-
served slop.
And I do think
Yeah.
it's all cyclical.
Everything. Clothes.
Clothes.
Life.
Clothes
Like-
right now, I feel insane because
What do you-
girls are wearing straight up the same outfit.
Like
that
Jinkos. I saw a girl in
Jinkos with
Jinkos.
like
Yeah, like the
with
Billie
like
Eilish look?
tight like tank top. It's really like as a just a old man at this point.
You're not an old man.
Be-
Not at all. You're younger than
seeing
a million people.
see like a whole new generation of people dressed how people were dressed when you were
a teen.
Yeah.
a
Yes.
teen is
Mm.
very like strange.
Do you know
and
what I just thought
confusing.
that there should be technology of?
Hmm.
There should be a ranking system where you could know where you ranked in oldness of the whole world. Like, oh, I'm the 3,012th oldest person now. Oh my god, now I'm like,
That would be a crazy.
yeah, you
'Cause
would
it would
always be
constantly
moving
be
up.
like,
What's your
It'll be
number?
like brrrr.
But
Yeah.
the people are getting born too.
And
so
then
it's
when you're like, when you were in the top million, you'd probably be quite old.
oh, you'd be
Definitely.
super old.
Yeah.
Death's door.
Like even and yeah, I want that technology.
You know what I want is like Shazam, but for faces.
Oh,
Mm.
interesting.
So if you're like at a party,
Oh my god.
Yes. You know I have moderate aphasia.
That's
uh-huh.
too bad.
Moderate aphasia.
I just had an interaction where I saw someone. We had a huge hug connection. No 5-minute combo.
know.
I know. No idea.
And people know the trick now of like, good to see you.
I
People
know.
know it. So
Always.
like,
I
we need
know.
a new one of those.
Well,
Good
you
to
know
see you.
what
How have you
happens-
been? It's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You know what happened to me at the Hacks premiere this year?
What?
Meeting like a million people that I already knew but didn't know if I knew. And so it's lots of like, nice to see you, whatever, like New York
I have
comics, LA
something-
comics. And then like Robbie came over with an LA comic and we were talking, whatever. And the LA comic, I could tell I'd met, but I don't know who exactly. And she's like, I think you're so funny. I go like, I think you're the funniest person in LA, I say.
This person, you don't know who they are.
And
Wild
then
swing.
Robbie uses their name, and I recognize the name and realize that the person I'm talking to is a New York-based UTA agent. So I told a a New York-based UTA agent that I believe her to be the funniest person in Los Angeles.
And she's now quit
Yeah.
and she's moved to Austin.
There should be technology for saying who's the funniest person in Los Angeles at any given moment. When the agent leaves, who replaces her? Oh my god. Wait, what were you saying before? Oh, it's probably something so boring. But what was I saying?
Oh, I said, what were you saying before? Probably something so boring.
no.
To me.
If it's important, it'll come back.
We're talking about aphasia and like not knowing. You're saying you hugged someone meaningfully.
No, it was something about I don't know. It escapes me. But then, who do you want to be? What does the future look like for you?
I really want to like write a movie.
Yeah,
Really? You could do a feature.
Yeah.
that'd be amazing.
So I wrote a couple things during the strike,
Oh,
But
did
I don't know if they're
you?
like producible.
Can I be in one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I be in
me.
both?
Yes.
Can I be in both? Do you want to act in them?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I've never had.
But you have such a star turn in Hacks.
I do.
Everyone's
yeah.
favorite character.
Yes, Ray.
Yeah. Catherine's never
Acting-
seen Catherine's never watched the show.
I
Yeah.
have seen the show. I've seen a lot of it.
You've seen a lot
I
of
will
it.
say the
You've never seen my episode of High Maintenance, which was my first real job.
That's exciting.
But you don't know if you want to act?
Well, the thing is, like, what's funny about my career to this point is that, like, accomplished a lot, but I'm still, like, if I'm in, like, an airport in Atlanta, say, I will get recognized for Modern Family.
Yeah.
Which is a very funny thing that,
Well,
like,
it's a huge
all
show.
my and I was in I was in so many episodes
Yeah.
towards
That's
the end.
amazing.
But like none of my friends have seen a second of me
Right.
on that show. But like I forced Mulaney and our friends to see Usher in Las Vegas last year. But at the Usher concert, someone, as we were walking out, I was with Mulaney and you know, a bunch of people, but someone stopped and asked for a photo of me because they recognized me from Modern Family.
That's amazing.
That's so
It
funny.
was very fun.
You and Usher have the same audiences.
Yes, that would that's my
That
dream.
show
in life.
was
Do you
so
care
amazing.
about being famous?
No.
Yeah.
Another funny thing, a very accurate thing someone once tweeted or commented was that I was the right level of fame where like
Yeah.
I'm not, no one's gonna like stop me or
Yeah.
like it's just like the people who know who I am will like be nice and let me walk by
Yes.
or occasionally yell that haven't yet popped off.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I would like to be that famous, but like not for something like if I'll get recognized, it'll be for this podcast.
Mhm.
But it's like it's this recognition in a way where it's like, oh, I feel like I know you very personally.
That is weird. This was sort of why I was always sort of reluctant to do my own podcast because I remember opening for Marin once in New York and he mentioned that he broke up with his girlfriend and there were like gasps in the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's bizarre,
It is
man.
strange.
People would go.
I know. I know.
I know. I like it though.
I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
That's
I enjoy like feeling like people know me and like we like have similar,
Yeah.
we care about similar things.
That is, I mean, it is not like my basketball fandom has certainly bled into.
Well, yeah, you did have a basketball podcast.
I did like a basketball live stream thing that made no sense and didn't really work.
Wait, so
but
that writing on that basketball show must have been so much fun.
it was so fun.
Oh, what a dream.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
Well, friend of the pod, Drew Tarver's on it.
Yeah.
I know.
I think it comes out in like February on Netflix.
That's soon.
Yeah. It was really fun, and yeah, it was fun because like I was obviously there in my capacity as a comedy writer, but I know so much about
Oh,
basketball nonsense
cool.
that sometimes people would pitch a story, and then I would have to be like, well, due to salary cap limitations,
Yeah.
we couldn't actually do.
well, thank
that.
God you were in the room. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like most people would watch and be like, "That's not real. That's not real."
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I boy-proofed the show.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's Drew Tarver and Kate Hudson, right?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love her.
and Brenda Song.
Amazing.
I love
Which
Brenda
was-
Song.
And she's married to Macaulay
I know.
Culkin.
Yes.
Shout out
Yes,
to the kid who
God,
invented
and
the
he's
that was-
okay, right?
I think he's good.
Yeah.
He-
They
yeah,
seem really happy.
yeah.
You
I
know
met
what
them at the rap party,
Oh.
and that was huge for me as a
Obviously.
as a Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
I remember.
Were you a Sweet Life of Zach and Cody kid?
No, I
Yeah.
was a Home Alone
Yeah.
boy.
Because Sweet Life was Brenda. That's how she exploded onto
Yes,
the scene.
I had to learn Brenda's sort of backstory.
Yeah. And the
Um,
Social Network.
She's
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah.
And she knows a lot about basketball, so she was one of
Cool.
the people I could just talk to on set.
Well, speaking of the Social Network, I have to shout out the movie I saw 2 nights ago, which was unbelievable, with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin. A Real Pain.
Mm.
So good.
I don't know it.
Really good. Go see it. It's about two cousins who visit Poland because their grandmother survived the Holocaust there. And so they go. But it's actually very funny. It's very moving. Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Okay.
My Max Minghella is also in.
who's that?
He's in Social Network. Is that how you say
Yes,
his?
that guy.
My wife has a weird witchy thing where he will be a presence in her dreams. And
Wow.
then within a few days of whatever dream, we will see him.
Wow.
Wow.
Just with him, or does she have other witchy things?
There are a number of she she'd absolutely be drowned if this were the 60s.
Really?
It's like there's enough weird witchy
That's
stuff
amazing.
going on with her.
I love that.
But like she told me she had a dream with Max Minghella once, and then the next night we were at a friend's party and he was there.
That's amazing.
Do y'all have hall passes? You don't have to say.
No, we've never. I think that's a dangerous game
Totally.
living in LA.
It's like, okay,
It's
like,
true.
it's
It's too
good.
close for comfort.
Yeah,
Totally. And it's also just
Although-
like, okay.
Mine's Post Malone.
Yeah.
Post Malone,
I
really?
know, but one time I had that reaction and Catherine said, let me have that. And I said,
No,
okay.
no, totally.
Let me. Let them. Let
Kylie's
them.
giving me shit that like once a million years ago I mentioned that I thought what's her face from Desperate Housewives?
Eva Longoria.
Eva Longoria. I said
Gorgeous
she was
girl.
hot.
What if it
and
was Marsha
I've-
Cross? What if your hall pass was Marsha Cross?
That would be. She's
Beautiful
beautiful.
woman, but it would be just so random.
Yeah.
So niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's written in the books that my
Yeah.
hall passes
Eva.
because I offhandedly mentioned 20 years ago that Eva Longoria was hot.
Well, you know, I met
Yeah.
Eva on the set of Only Murders in the Building, and we discussed you at length.
Oh wow,
Really?
Yeah, because I'm her
Really?
hall pass.
No, I did meet her. She was very nice, but Joe didn't come up.
No,
Unfortunately,
she doesn't know who I am.
you don't know that. Maybe she's
Well,
a huge
Modern Family.
Modern Family
Yeah.
head. Luckily, I always think of that intonation
Wait, what?
in Legally Blonde when she goes, I passed Spanish because I had my lucky scrunchie or something. Yeah, luckily. Anyone remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of cool, deep cut.
Never forget when we were at a dinner in like 2021.
Stop.
We were at a dinner in 2021. Legally
It was
Blonde,
a really dark time.
Legally
Uh-huh.
Blonde came
Of
out
course.
in about 2004. We're at a dinner, and I'm like sitting down at the table from Catherine, and someone mentions in passing the movie Legally Blonde, and Catherine like looks up, so good.
Well, there is a screenwriting book where the author over and over again states that it's
Yes.
a perfect movie.
Yes,
It
people always say
really
that.
is.
Yeah.
I have full body chills thinking
Yeah.
about the reveal.
Yeah.
Okay, do y'all have crushes?
She's
on
his
the-
age. Did you know that she's his age?
I don't remember that.
Linda Cardellini. When she
Oh,
breaks
yeah.
down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyways, next we have a few more segments. Do you guys feel hot today?
I don't like my hair is just in this weird place. I'm wearing this owl hat that makes my head look too big. No one's jumping out of their seat to correct. My
She's a
shape.
Kylie.
It
Yeah.
had the same tone as Do the Hustle.
You know that my editor wants to set me up with someone?
Romantically.
Of course.
That's exciting.
But do you know that, Joe, in order to pursue my creative work, I've actually
this is
announced
so
on the
exciting.
podcast that I am entering into a year of celibacy, except for anyone I'm already having sex with because they're grandfathered in.
Yeah,
for
that makes
sponsorship.
sense. Yeah.
Except then also anyone who was like introduced before that. So we don't have to have had sex yet, but if you were introduced.
So anyone you know.
I can't meet someone.
Yeah,
new.
that meets the requirement.
Yeah.
I will say that my good friend Dave King was set up by his lawyer
Okay.
with his now wife and mother of his child.
Reps
It's not
good
wife and
now.
mother.
His now his wife and mother. Yeah, it's a good.
She adopted him
He was
first,
like,
and then they
"Yeah."
decided to get married.
No, his
His
lawyer,
actual mother.
His lawyer
Yeah.
set him up with his biological mom. I was like, I
And
know
it was love at first sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've met you in a million lifetimes.
I saw an Instagram post that was like, it came up my For You. But maybe you posted it. Because sometimes, whenever I'm like, I saw this random Instagram post, I don't know how I
it's
saw it.
usually
I
my
was-
fault.
Did you,
yeah.
are you
I
the one who-
adore your Instagram.
Thank you.
Are you the one who posted the thing that was like a girl was like, it was like two brides making out like they got married, like a lesbian wedding.
No.
One was older, one was like probably in her 30s, the younger one. And that was the one who had posted it. And the caption was like, yes, I married my 7th grade teacher.
I
no,
saw
I'm
that.
not
Why did I see
apologizing.
that
I
too?
don't know.
Was that
no,
not
I
you?
won't apologize
No.
for it.
Someone that we both follow. Because I saw that
Yeah.
too. That's awesome.
Anyways.
That's a dream.
I don't feel hot today because I made the worst soup last night. This happens to me a
Oh.
lot. The worst soup. And
kind?
I can't even get into it, but it just like I had such a vision for it, and then I got distracted and like half burnt, and then I didn't cook the vegetables enough. It was a nightmare.
Oh,
Yeah.
And then I've been refusing to wash my hair because I don't like the shower in my Airbnb. So
Oh, that's
I'm gonna wash it
I
tomorrow.
thought you were staying at Amy's, no?
I moved to an Airbnb because Brian's here.
Oh, cool.
That's why we have the rental car.
That's why you had sex.
Oh, yeah.
thank you for remembering. I forgot to bring
Yeah.
that up. I had sex. I had sex. We had sex.
We had some Miami, girl. We had sex. We had sex. One time,
Me and my Atwater Airbnb. We had sex. We had sex.
one time someone on Vanderpump Rules was accused of cheating on his girlfriend in Miami with a woman who was only referred to as Miami girl. And then like his ex, he was getting away with it, and his ex, it was driving her crazy. So she flew the woman from Miami to Los Angeles, and then
my
escorted her
God.
into the bar. And
In a
she's just-
wedge espadrille. She walks in.
amazing tits, and she just walks up to the bar and goes, "Hey," and tries to order a drink, and he like tries to ignore her, and then she just ends up like in the bar like saying, "We had sex. We had sex. We had sex."
Yeah. and Ariana's like, what are you talking about?
I know.
Interesting, but I
Anyways.
decided to have sex.
I made the choice to have
We
sex.
had sex. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
rock and roll.
It was rock and roll.
It was sometimes it's so good. And sometimes it's like
course.
whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's the human experience.
And sometimes you're like, wait,
Yeah.
this is unbelievable stuff.
And
Yeah.
sometimes it, to use a popular phrase, could have been an email.
The sex could have been an email.
The sex could have been an email.
Sometimes the woman's pussy, the way it works is like sometimes there's just more sensitivity. Don't get scared and
I'm not
don't
scared.
shy away. He's screaming bloody. Okay, wait.
Okay, so do you feel hot?
And I don't think I mean this is a self-confidence thing. I don't feel hot ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, true.
That's crazy.
That's
But I
crazy.
am
But
getting
you have everything anyone would want.
Yeah.
thank you.
It's true.
It's true.
The American dream.
I'm one of the people. My hotness hasn't popped off quite yet. I need a hair. I'm getting a haircut this afternoon, so that may help things.
If
Yeah.
you weren't hot, why would someone be with you for 20 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question.
It's
Yeah.
an insult
Own
to
it.
Kylie. You're saying that she's going to stick with a not hot person for 20
You think
years?
Kylie's an idiot.
You're insulting her intelligence, and of all women.
He hates women. He hates women. Okay, so now that we've settled on that,
Crush of the week.
oh right, and we have once again we have just a few minutes, but I think crush of the week.
I know.
Trader Joe's. I'm sorry, but I never go in New York because it's too much of a hassle. It went
Yeah.
yesterday morning. It's unbelievable.
Not the
in
Silver
there.
Lake one, I hope.
The Silver Lake one.
Mm.
For one, a cashier once got shot there. For two, the parking lot is mayhem.
First of all, there was no one in the parking lot because it was early in the morning. So I'm on New York time. Who got shot?
There
The
was like
cashier.
a shooting there years ago. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I have not said that.
No, I'm just like that's
Yeah,
so
well,
awful.
but I'm like surprised there isn't like a plaque or something. They were
know.
like back to business within 3 days. It was
Yeah.
wild.
They're like, come this way, come this way.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
My I'll actually choose a character from literature, unless he turns bad 'cause I'm only 2 chapters in. But the older brother from Intermezzo is my
Love, I
crush of
can't
the
wait to
week.
dive into that.
Prawns.
Interesting.
Yum.
I'm having a prawn-naissance.
Because you cook.
I
Admit it.
cook, but
Yeah.
What's the difference between prawns and shrimp?
they're bigger, I think. But so
Oh,
like my favorite,
God.
I think my favorite meal, my favorite thing to eat right now are the prawns at Mother Wolf.
Yum.
Oh, never
So
been.
good.
Well, how are they cooked?
They're like
Prepared. I'm so sorry.
they're
Yeah.
grilled, but then they're on top of this salsa verde that like I would drink out of a mason jar. It's
Yeah.
the best sauce
There's
I've
nothing
ever
like when you
had.
find
Oh
a special
god, I love
sauce.
sauce.
And then I got prawns at Donna's recently. Incredible
Never been
prawns.
there either.
And then I took my parents were in town. I brought them to Bavel downtown. And we got the prawns, and those prawns rocked. And I'm like, wait, are prawns just like it?
Can I ask though, are they the kind that you have to take out of the little
You have
with the
to
legs?
take the
Do you know what
heads
reminds
off,
me of
yeah.
Ursula when she's eating those little things around her like dwelling?
Who?
Ursula from Little Mermaid. When she's
Oh.
But isn't
popping
it
those
upsetting
things
when you're
around.
so hungry and then you're like, ah?
I've gotten over it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
grow.
I mean, I'm
I need to grow up.
It's the
No, it's
prawns
hard.
age. It's the prawns age.
Yeah.
And you just have to get with it.
It's so exciting. I just had the idea of like, because you know, like I eat so much yogurt and granola, and I thought to myself, what if I put berries in it? And I put
Oh,
raspberries and blueberries in it and
Good.
change the game.
Yeah,
And
it's
anything
a
that feels to me,
famous addition to yogurt.
you
I
like to
know.
cook?
Yes.
You know,
big
I
time.
love to cook.
Let's cook.
Let's
yeah,
cook.
you guys should have a cooking show.
A cook off.
I made a red curry coconut
Oh my
salmon
God.
last night that was
Yum.
so good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you have a nice
Yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
missing.
is it?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
quite nice.
That's amazing. Well, let me tell you guys this. I think that's everything. Are you mad at me?
No, are you mad at me?
No. Are you mad at me because I said I got tired in the middle?
No, I
No.
was like, I've got to amp it up. I need to drink
No,
more.
it really
No.
is. I can't trust that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, she can't stress it enough. I can tell when she can't stress something enough. I like the song where it's like, I wanna brag about it. I wanna da da da. I want to show you off. It's called Agora Hills.
Oh, I don't
I
know
want to
that.
show you off.
Anyways,
Okay, fuck
so
my
you're not mad
drag.
at me?
Fuck my drag.
Are you not mad at me?
I am not.
Oh, you met me?
No.
Of course.
No.
I bet you guys have so much fun in the room.
I sing Pat's praises.
And like
Funniest person in the world.
Yeah,
No,
you're up
You are.
there.
I know, but I don't like. I know, but I don't like.
I know.
I know
don't
I am, but I don't like that.
Your mutual friend
Who?
chose not to follow me for years, so I followed him.
Who's our mooch?
The other gay person who is your friend from high school and is in the industry and obviously knew who I was.
Well, he texted me asking if you're going to be at the party tomorrow because like it's going to be explosive.
Oh man!
Wow, for the
What did
four
he
of us,
say?
I'll
He
be
sent
there.
like a meme, be like my face when Pat said I didn't follow him or something. I was dying.
Well,
It's gonna be the two Spider-Man.
Well, it just
pointing
has
at
to be
each
a very
other.
intentional decision.
That's how I feel. How do you feel when people are like, "I'm a huge fan of yours," and then you see they don't even follow you? I'm like, how could you?
I'm flabbergasted,
Yeah.
and there are certain people in comedy who don't follow.
Totally.
I know that's
Well, do you
like
want-
self-aggrandizing
wait, do you wanna know
or
my true-
sickening, but
Want to know
no,
my
I've
true?
seen some things as well on my
Yeah.
end.
Want to know my
Yeah.
true? Want to know my true mental illness? This
What?
is what needs to be studied. Because you know what you do feel like, especially when I'm in a room for a
Who? I'll
while.
bleep it. Oh, sorry.
When I feel like when you're in a room for a while and like I'm just like, oh, like I'm not doing as many shows, or especially like in New York, like I don't know these
Mhm.
people coming up. So someone I know, someone I came up with is doing Union Hall, whatever. They're running a show. They have this lineup. I'm like, let me get in here and see if these young girls are following me.
this
Oh,
is
don't,
my
don't,
exact
I
thing.
don't,
check
This
in
is
the
my
young
exact
girls.
Oh,
thing.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm too scared.
But then
scared.
I'm like, well, I don't use Instagram properly.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like I'm like
I
I feel
love the
like
way
I'm
you use
a,
it.
but I think I'm like a hard follow. Like when people unfollow me, I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like
How do you find your stuff that you share?
it's my algorithm's just
Yeah.
sick. It's like poison.
Yeah.
So I just I just love it.
It's so good.
Sick in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all
Thank
so
you
much
for joining
listening.
us.
And,
And when a heart
when
breaks,
a heart breaks, it don't break even. That's our new sign off.
Mm.
I
Okay.
wonder when we'll shift. Maybe in the new year.
I know, probably in the new year.
I love it.
Treatment. If you're boring as fuck, seek treatment. If you're unlucky in love, seek treatment. If you just can't take a hint, well, seek treatment. With Kat and Pat.
That was a Headgum podcast.